Mr. Speaker, we've just received the latest report on the performance of students across this country when it comes to math and reading and civics. And the results are absolutely alarming. We have seen now 12th grade math scores reach the lowest score ever reported, with 45% of students not even showing the basic skills. The highest portion of students ever to fall below basic proficiency. Nearly half of the nation's students can't even apply single-step percentages to solve real-world problems. Less than a quarter, only 22% of 12th graders scored at or above proficient in math, down 2 points from 2019. The low scores are seen in these core subjects, and they're even below scores almost 2 decades earlier. And the data shows that this trend has continued and was started even before COVID-19. In 2024, only a third of 12th graders were considered academically ready for entry-level college math work, down 4% since 2019. We see similar results in reading. Over 32%, the largest percentage ever, scored below proficient in reading. And so when we look at both math and reading, we're seeing the worst performance ever for students across this country. I've been raising alarms about this trend for some time now. And as the chair of the House Subcommittee on K-12 education, we have been looking at how we can reverse this trajectory, which has been continuing for far too long in this country. And the truth is, we don't have to look far, because there are some places in America that are defying this alarming trend, that are applying basic principles of propelling student achievement in order to perform in a diametrically different way than schools elsewhere in the country. So to take one example, which we highlighted at a hearing earlier this year, you can look at Success Academy, which is a network of nearly 60 charter schools in New York. And I have here just one measure of their extraordinary success. As background, it should be understood that the demographics of Success Academy are largely students from underserved communities, with in fact 76% coming from economically disadvantaged homes. So when you look at this chart, you can see the number of students who passed one or more AP exam of the roughly 1,500 students, high school students, that Success Academy has. This is their network of schools, nearly 60 charter schools, but 1,500 high school students. 100% of their students passed at least one AP exam. These other bars are different states. You see 24% for Rhode Island, 24% for Vermont, 27% Virginia, 26% Colorado. Even states that do pretty well in the high 20s. California, which does not do so well, 28%. Massachusetts is the state with the highest score, 33%. Success Academy, 100%. In fact, every Success Academy high school graduate has been accepted to a 4-year college, with many admitted to highly selective institutions. Overall, we've seen students led this at Success Academy last year, led the entire state in math scores, with 49% of Black and 55% of Hispanic students earning 4s, which is the highest level on the state exam. Now, by contrast, New York City's district schools, compared to that, 8% of Black and Hispanic students earned 4s. So 49% and 55% versus 8%. That is an astounding difference at a network of schools where the vast majority of students are below the poverty line. As a matter of fact, if Success Academy were its own district, it would be the single highest ranking school district in the state of New York. I had the opportunity to visit one of their schools just last week, and I was truly inspired by what I saw. The students were engaged in every classroom I visited. They were enthusiastic about learning, eager to participate, attentive. I didn't see one student's eyes wander or one disruption. The teachers were likewise truly passionate about the work that they were doing. The students are held to very high expectations and taught math and reading in a rigorous way, in an evidence-based way. They're taught things like focus by learning chess starting in kindergarten. And they've created a culture within each of their schools of high expectations that is felt in every classroom and by every student. It's no wonder that parents in New York are clamoring to get their kids into these schools. I had the chance to meet a number of these parents as well while I was there. The last time, for the last year, for the 3,200 spots that were available, there were 16,000 families that applied. And the law for charter schools is that you do a lottery. So 16,000 families applied, 3,200 lottery spots. If you won the lottery, then your child gets the chance to go to the highest performing network of schools in the state of New York, a network where 100% of the students are accepted to four-year universities, where 100% of high school students pass at least one AP exam, and where over 6 times more students achieve the highest level of proficiency as similarly situated students in district schools in New York City. Now, you would think that politicians in Albany, or for that matter in Sacramento, because our state has similar success stories when it comes to high-performing charter school networks, would be doing everything possible to expand these opportunities, but just the contrary. In New York, they have actually capped the number of charter schools that can be started. And in California, Governor Newsom and the supermajority have conducted a years-long war against charter schools, making it harder for them to start up and easier for them to be shut down. So I think it is important for us to reflect on these two sets of data. On the one hand, the nation's report card showing that our nation is in big trouble because of the continuing decline and failure of our public education system. But on the other hand, inspiring stories like that of Success Academy, where you have nearly 60 schools that are achieving extraordinary things for kids coming largely from underprivileged backgrounds. The urgent question that we need to ask is, how do we make every school in America look more like Success Academy, or more like the KIPP network of schools, or more like any number of successful charter networks, and for that matter, those traditional public schools that are doing a good job as well? We have been highlighting in our subcommittee why it is that we have this vast divergence in outcomes. And while education is largely the domain of state and local jurisdictions, we will continue to use whatever tools we have to encourage the adoption of best practices and to work towards accountability for those who are failing our students year after year.